MrBeast has broken his silence about the whole Ava Kris Tyson situation.
Kris Tyson from MrBeast used me and manipulated me and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old.
Holy shit, man. So my motherfucking main nigga, Kris Tyson, supports child. He's into that freak ass shit.
Kris, MrBeast scandals, Ava Tyson has recently become messier and more infatuated. Kris is over everyone. She sought to retract her apology after initially issuing one. Everyone was calling for MrBeast to come out and issue a statement about Kris, but when he did, a clip purportedly of MrBeast from years ago surfaced, and he was saying all sorts of disgusting things about Bad Baby when she was just 14. Oh my god, this story is insane. So yeah, everything by denying the offender allegations. And now yet another person has come out and exposed Kris for being inappropriate with them when they were 15. And that's not even the end of the drama. Join me today as we attempt to make sense of all of these newly discovered charges.
I kind of felt bad for MrBeast, but now people who worked for him are like, yeah, he knew about it the whole time. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Given how quickly things have been falling apart, a lot has been happening since it was discovered that Ava Kris Tyson has apparently been having really improper relationships with some young kids for years. Significant, I'll recap what happened a few days ago, so you can understand the new drama that has resulted from all of this. Kris Tyson, who was 21 at the time, is accused of having inappropriate conversations with a young person named Lava while they were still in middle school. Prism42, a YouTuber, released a series of videos in which she made serious accusations against Kris for some NSFW things he has been doing to young people. Granted Lava the ability to moderate one of his streaming sessions, and this was just the beginning of some horrific stuff. Kris would allegedly send all sorts of inappropriate messages to Lava, even at one point offering to send Lava inappropriate pics of himself after Lava donated to his Patreon. Y'all, turns out that this was just the tip of the iceberg. Kris would, over the next year, send tons of inappropriate messages, even Lava himself, to Lava over Snapchat. Since then, every headline has focused on this messy scandal, even though it's admitted that their conversations were highly inappropriate. However, little did we know that things were going to get even messier, as evidenced by the time the allegations about Ava first went viral. On Twitter, Kris Tyson posted claims of proof for several of the contentious things she had said. They demanded that Kris come out and say something about this whole drama. At this point, there wasn't much Kris could say about these alleged allegations because there was so much evidence against him. So Kris did what he could. Said that goes back years, and she deleted everything. Not a single tweet before this whole scandal can be found on her account. Obviously, people were quick to notice this. Kris, in an attempt to make amends, tweeted that he would like to apologize for any past behavior or comments that may have hurt or offended someone. Given the events of the past few days, we have mutually decided that it would be best if I permanently stepped away from all things MrBeast and social media in order to focus on my family and mental health. I see how you feel, and this is the sincerest apology ever. Falk was one of the first people to call out Kris for her fake apology, and she was furious. I was hoping for a more detailed response, but I'm glad Eva is providing one. Has ever given many people the impression that Kris was just saving face and doing what someone in her shoes is expected to do, but no one felt like she meant any of it. So naturally, people on the internet and Kris's fellow creators started coming out and calling BS on her apology. Overall, Kris's decision to leave MrBeast squad was disappointing and unpleasant. The internet quickly reacted, criticizing Kris once again. If you insulted or wounded someone, it was a wild start, and they should inspect your hard drives. When I brought up your wrong actions in supporting the cartoonist that drew my daughter in private a month ago, you did not offer an apology. What Altered Loves Keemstar was especially enraged since, as you may recall, Kris was a major admirer and supporter of Shodan, the eerie man who did the L artwork of his daughter.
First, I don't care if it was edgy jokes to a murder. A 20-year-old should never be saying edgy jokes to a murder. I think we can all agree about that.
Nevertheless, Kris realized his apologies weren't having the desired effect a few hours after publishing it, so she attempted retracting what she had said. Kris tweeted again, "I want to add, I never anyone the person who gets brought up in these accusations at Lava," in response to her first apology, not so apologies post. GS has said emphatically that they are untrue and that they sincerely regret to anybody I may have offended with my previous inappropriate social media postings and behaviors, as well as to anyone who may have been deceived by my previous online behavior.
YouTubers stay away from a child challenge impossible. What the is going on? Kris Tyson from the MrBeast crew was like, you know what? I saw what you did, Cody Co, and I raised you one. I did it too. There's a bunch of random screenshots and screen recordings of Kris Tyson DMing little children. I'm talking like 13-year-olds. There was a 13-year-old and she was 20 at the time. Barely even a teenager. You probably had a mortgage at the time. They don't even know what that word means. I don't even know what that word means.
Loves, you guessed it, this did not set well with many. But little did Ava Kris realize that things were about to get worse for her. You see, as Kris was occupied attempting to contain the fallout from his apology, another young person he was reportedly improper with came out and exposed him once again.
Kris Tyson from MrBeast used me and manipulated me and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old.
If everybody recalls, Lava was the first young. The individual Kris was allegedly in inappropriate contact with came forward and denied that Kris and him did anything together. Rather, they just had inappropriate conversations. But this man was saying that was all BS, and the real reason Lava wasn't coming forward was because Kris forced Lava to sign an NDA. Lava allegedly even tried to get this person to sign the NDA, but they refused.
He's also under an NDA from when he worked for MrBeast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join MrBeast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me.
It seems that Nate, the concerned party, and Lava started working for Kris to manage his Discord channel, and Kris never even compensated them for their labor. It also seems that other young individuals were on Kris's server, and Kris would often bring subjects with an adult theme on the server.
Me and him were both initially involved in running Kris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them.
Nate's calling. Hey, what's up? You're on stream.
You just leave your address, please, in the stream.
As well as other technical back-end things that he needed help with. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there, other than me and Lava. He won a giveaway and Kris invited him after that, and Kris invited me after I saw one of his tweets asking for help setting up a Garry's Mod server for the 10 million subscriber MrBeast video. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Kris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being like, I don't know, 20, 21 years.
Kris would even go so far as to give these kids connections to pornographic websites. And on top of that, he was supposedly employing an NSFW bot on the same server to send these kids URLs with sexual themes.
He would even go as far as linking several different porn and hentai videos throughout the time of talking with him. Not only that, he had an NSFW bot in his Discord server before he made it public. So when it was private server, his little circle of minors, and he would use this NSFW bot to spam different porn images, alongside all these 15-year-olds.
Kris would sometimes even begin phoning them. Daddy used to call me and the others Dad and Daddy a lot, which I think we all sort of took for granted. Though it was a joke at the time, you have to remember that this was someone we looked up to, idolized, and believed couldn't really do anything wrong in our eyes. However, looking back, I was uncomfortable being called daddy by a 20-year-old, and even thinking about it now makes me uncomfortable. If that wasn't enough to make you throw up, Kris and his friends were rumored to have used the N-word several times to mock people.
This server later went public and became his official Discord server, but before it did, he had me and Lava spend multiple days scrubbing this Discord server clean of all of the N-words he had sent in it, as well as his friends, as well as deleting the NSFW channels and making sure no one could see that he was spamming corn to minors.
Lava came out to refute what Nathan was saying as soon as the video went viral. And Loki providing defense Kris. Many of the claims he made about me in that video are totally false. We were friends, and we worked together on the Discord and played games. He was later kicked out of the Discord because of his instability, and I never sent him a contract. Since 2022, I have not been under any NDA, and neither have I received any money, nor have my social media accounts been monetized. I did let him know this. Around that time, he could get an opportunity to assist with making Minecraft videos. But this never happened. We did not scrub the Discord clean of racist remarks, or we did convert the Discord from a private one to a public in a day after it had been made public. This spoke setting up moderation bots and channel permissions. We also never had done any unpaid work at no point was there any agreement that as soon as lava flows through our pipes, our money will be paid. When he sent this tweet, a lot of people accused him of standing up for Chris and suppressing criticism of Chris, which prompted demands for MrBeast to speak out against Ava. Over the last several days, I've learned of the severe web accusations about Ava Tyson's behavior. I am horrified and opposed to such inappropriate activities, and during that time, I have been concentrating on recruiting. Kris Tyson more louder, and MrBeast eventually released his comment. I've seen enough online, so I've asked an impartial third party to look into the matter thoroughly to make sure I have all the information I need. I've also taken prompt action to remove Ava from the business, my channel, and any affiliation with MrBeast. I do not encourage or condone any improper behavior. I'll give the independent investigators all the time they need to carry out a thorough inquiry, and I'll decide what to do next depending on their conclusions.
Work is, which is just prostitution. But I remember when I was working for MrBeast, like in that time in 2017, 2018, I remember Chris saying like, isn't she hot? Isn't like Cash Me Outside girl, isn't she like 14? Is she 14 years old? Yeah, it's J. And I'm like, what? I had never heard somebody say that in my life. That was the first time where somebody unironically said that. And that's how I know that rots people's brains. It's like that's got to be from somebody who was watching anime, was watching all that stuff, was chronically online. Like, to have that terminology, to communicate that